If you were anything like me, you were getting hit by a deluge of solicitations from over 13,000 listed LLM companies at this point. How do you tell them apart? How can you tell what's really the right solution for your business? You really want to start with first principles about the types of things that you can do internally using frontier models like Claude or GPT or developing a GPT. But if you have a really good case that you want to pursue, I do suggest looking at your bigger vendors first. So if you're running a CRM like HubSpot or Salesforce, they're investing millions, tens of millions of dollars in their LLM take capabilities. You might want to try those out first before you go down the rabbit hole of new entrants into the field. Nobody understands CRM like the big CRM platforms. Now, that's obviously not an answer for everyone. So when you see a novel use case that you don't feel you can build yourself and doesn't feel like something that your incumbent partners are developing, you need to take a close look at the incentives behind the model and do a careful look at the risks that you might be incurring. Let's start with risk. If a model is free or a platform is free, you're probably the product in some way, shape, or form. So one of the things that I have my team do is we've built a GPT, which I can link below, that simply takes a look at the terms of service to get a good idea of how the organization is going to use my data. Also, as far as their financial alignments, these models cost a good deal of money to run in terms of tokens. So if they're pushing your data into a lower tier model and it's a public model, even if their terms of service are saying that they're going to protect their data, your data, that doesn't necessarily mean that the, say, GPT 3.5 API is configured in such a way that it'll protect your data as well. I say GPT 3.5 because it's sort of the go-to really cheap API token-based model that's out there that a lot of companies that are running these solutions are using in the background. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it also means that you're not getting frontier quality out of that, which makes me loop back to the idea of if this is a really cheap solution, perhaps there's a way that you can do it directly. The other thing that I like to take a look at is what is the business model of that partner? How are they trying to lock you in? Because like good entrepreneurs, they're trying to lock you into your environment in some way, shape, or form. Personally, I find some of the transcription tools like Fireflies or Otter to be doing a robust job of locking you into their ecosystem such that all of your communications are tied into their platform and forcing you to use their AI tools to interact with them. Now, some of these tools are actually pretty good. I quite like the meeting summaries and such. But as I've talked about before, I also like to use transcriptions for all kinds of other things. And Fireflies in particular has made this very difficult to use something like Zapier to move your data from on-platform to off-platform so you can do something else with it. So how is your platform trying to lock you in? In general, you want to make sure that you're partnering with partners who are going to be around. So have they taken on a decent amount of funding? And now this is critically important with partners who are at least purporting to be using their own fine-tuned models or open source models that are in some way, shape, or form are captive. Now, if you are engaging in that sort of relationship, you want to make sure that that partner is actually going to be around. So something that you can do is check out their funding on Crunchbase. And it's not to say that a bootstrapped company can't be a really effective partner, but the better funded they are, the more likely they are going to be around for a little while. And if you're investing a lot of time and energy, either yourself or through your staff, in implementing these solutions, you want to make sure that it's going to be robust. In any case, it is still a very exciting time. There are solutions left, right, and center for basically everything. I do maintain that the big players out there will be best positioned to execute on their own domain space. So keep a keen eye on what your key software vendors are doing, and frankly, reach out to them in respect to betas that they are engaging in and new tool development and what their roadmap is. And it would be a bit of a yellow flag if I were speaking to a critical vendor in supply chain or CRM or whatever it might be, and to discover that they don't really have a roadmap that's going to track the rest of the industry. Hope that helps.